am having, Mac.
So Sega has just revealed the animated short for Sonic and Friends and what to expect a little bit from the series that's going to be on TikTok. And immediately my first thought was, is Sonic the Hedgehog getting too cute? You know, I've been thinking about this question a lot recently, especially with the whole is Sonic cute or cool debate that's been going on, and I feel like I need to finally toss my hat into the ring in this whole discussion. So I think the most important thing to basically go into when asking this question is Sonic getting too cute or is Sonic too cute? We need to think about what the character was supposed to represent initially. In an interview with Oshima in regards to the creation of Sonic the Hedgehog, he said cool can be something that's more on the surface, visual or expressive, or just cool character design, but that wasn't the cool we were looking for. Instead, he and the team wanted a character who was cool because of his attitude. He wouldn't follow the orders of others and would always fight for what he believed in. Essentially what's being said here in this specific quote is that Sonic's design is not supposed to embody coolness, it's supposed to be his attitude that does that and the way he carries himself. And that isn't to say that Sonic's design is not supposed to be cool, because it most definitely is, as his shoe buckle actually draws inspiration from Michael Jackson's album cover Bad, and also just how his whole overall design with him having the spikes is supposed to be a sleeker look. But as the years went on and Sonic had to make the jump to 3D, it became evident within the team that they had to make some redesigns. The character had to change in some way, shape, or form to once again attract audiences because they felt as though the previous character design had gone at least a little stale. So when discussing the upcoming design for Sonic the Hedgehog, what would be what we know as modern Sonic, Yuji Naka had this to say. Right, once the plushies and stuff start coming out, it's all a big dilemma for the character designer. When someone says, what's wrong with cuteness? I point to Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty already owns the market in cuteness, and if Sonic heads too far down that path, I don't think he'll last very long as a character. We were thinking about the lifespan of the character for over 10 or even 20 years, and we didn't want to do anything that would kill him off in the long term. During this time period, it was pretty clear that Sega, or at least Naka, didn't want Sonic to become this cute character just because they didn't want to see Sonic fail. And to further support this idea, Naka actually backs up his claims by saying Sonic was really supposed to be this impertinent, cheeky character. However, once he blew up in popularity, his image gradually morphed into something more cutesy. Sonic has now appeared in 29 games across different platforms, and Sonic merchandise and goods have proliferated around the world. Because of that, we kinda lost some control over his image. So when it came time to do Sonic Adventure in 1998, we were worried that if he became too cutesy, he would end up just like every other cute, cloying character mascot. So for the Dreamcast, we deliberately tried to strengthen his original bad boy image. I think this quote tells me like everything I need to know to answer this question. For example, I think in the end where Naka says original bad boy image, it basically makes it clear that Sonic was supposed to be this cool, edgy character. I guess not edgy in terms of like someone like Shadow or Infinite, but edgy to a certain extent where he kind of didn't play by anyone else's rules but his own. And this isn't something that Naka is just making up either. You can easily tell just how cool they wanted Sonic to be in the 90s by having things like the Sonic CD intro really reflect that he's got this really interesting way about him where he doesn't play by the rules, he just does what he wants to, and even in just the design itself, he feels more cool than anything we've seen from classic Sonic of lately. I mean, at one time, this character would jump off the screen if you took too long to put an input in the game, and now he's saying things like, I heart you too, Shadow. I guess with that statement, I kind of basically showed my cards on how I feel about this whole debate here. I'm obviously going to say that I'm more of a fan of Sonic being cool than cute. However, I'm not going to sit here and say there's not a place for cuteness, and I'm not going to say that cute doesn't work. I think the whole Sonic and Friends thing is a really good idea, and I think it will actually attract a nice wider audience of Sonic fans. But I feel like the main series iterations of the characters, whether they be modern or classic, should always remain to be this cool, stoic, do what they want kind of character. And when I say that, I mean it in both characterization and design. I already talked a little bit about the characterization of Sonic, so I want to talk a bit about the design now too, because I feel like that's equally important. I feel like Sonic's design, you can really, for me anyway, you can easily tell whether the design is supposed to be cute or cool. Like, I think in this image right here, you can easily tell, like, hey, the Sonic and Friends design of Sonic is supposed to be cute. Where if you go to, like, the Sonic Riders opening for the series, like, that's supposed to be cool. But I think it gets a little bit difficult sometimes when it's supposed to be the same design and also in the same continuity. Like, for the IDW series, I feel like they kind of switch between cool and cute very frequently, which really does not kind of rub me the right way, because it's just like there's an inconsistency of how Sonic is supposed to be handled, which bothers me personally. Like, for example, I think in this image right here, I think we can all easily say, hey, Sonic's looking cool here. But in this image, you can say, well, Sonic's looking kinda cute. You can say cute. And I don't know why it's supposed to be like that. I don't know why there's such fluctuations. I get it's different artists, and the art looks great as it is. But even then, I feel like just because the artist is changing doesn't mean the entire direction of the character has to change in terms of the visuals. Of course, the character's going to look different, but they don't have to feel different is what I'm trying to say. And I think you could probably already tell that I have a gripe with Prime Sonic just because already it doesn't even feel like Sonic, but also just the fact that he says so many things that I just feel like are contradictory to Sonic's nature. And because of that reason, it's why I have such a hard time accepting this show as canon, even if it's supposed to be. And even though we don't know its canon placement, there are so many theories out there that it probably takes place after Heroes or in a distant future or something like that, which in my opinion makes no sense either way, because even if it takes place after Heroes, we already know that Sonic has some experience, but in Prime it seems like he has none. And even still, the way he carries himself in Prime is so different than the way he carries himself in Heroes. To me, Hero Sonic feels cool and he's ready to just get the party started, as he said in Shadow the Hedgehog. But if you look at Prime Sonic, he does stuff like this. You see, this is fine, but to me, if it's gonna be canon, he shouldn't be doing that, because that's just, I don't know, that's not Sonic.
That's crazy! Sonic would never do that!
I said this before in another video, and as much as I love Sonic Prime, I don't think I'd have really any problems with it if it wasn't canon. But there's so many problems to me with Sonic's character that it feels so out of character for the mainline series of Sonic if this is supposed to be canon. Prime Sonic has his cool moments, yes, but I think there's so many cute ones that it makes it kind of feel like it's a balance, which is weird. Because to me, Sonic should never really have a balance, at least in terms of the mainline series. He should always be this character who's just cool. But to mix in the cute, I feel like using other medias like Sonic and Friends, or even the Sonic movie for example, the things that aren't considered canon or mainline, that's the stuff where I really do not mind if it's cute, cool, or whatever. If it wants to be a mix, it doesn't matter. Some people will tell you that it's okay to have a balance between cute and cool, and listen, I respect your opinion, but I completely disagree. I feel like Sonic in this case, for this character, especially if the initial intention was to make him this, bad boy type of character, then he should stay that kind of character. I feel like it's important to remember that a lot of the games that Sonic is most popular for, he had that kind of bad boy personality. He had that coolness about him that made it work. And I want to be clear on something. I'm not making this video to bash on the new generation of Sonic the Hedgehog, because I've already stated this several times before. Frontiers is my favorite Sonic game ever made. I love that game, and I'm looking forward to Sonic Superstars. But the point still stands, and my opinion, I think, still is relevant to this discussion, because I don't think we're at a point yet where Sonic is still having that cool persona. He's not as cool as he once used to be, still having that cuteness with him. I don't know if things will change, I hope they will, but what do you guys think? Do you think Sonic is getting too cute, or do you think it's perfectly fine? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also, while you're at it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe on the video. I would really appreciate it, and it goes a super long way. That said, thank you all again so much for watching. This is Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?